Hi everybody, this is Barry Schwartz. This is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is August 26th, Friday morning, and we have lots of topics to discuss today, and I'll go through them one by one like I usually do. Anyway, this is the news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable over the past week at seroundtable.com. The first thing I'll bring up is something panda related because we all love to talk about pandas. And basically, there was a great thread over at Webmaster World talking about how this panda is leading to the great, what they're calling, website content purge. Specifically, this guy wrote the great purge of the web, because basically what people have to do to get out of this panda is to get rid of their unquality, not quality content, content that seems to be duplicate, content that seems to be unhelpful, and really make their websites much more helpful over time. Anyway, you can read that. There's lots of fun, interesting comments over at the Search Engine Roundtable on August 22nd at seroundtable.com. Something that happened last night was that Google News has retired Google News Bot, or Googlebot News, which is officially called. From now on, Google will be crawling using the Google Bot as their main Google News engine. So Google News will come from Googlebot. The changes are very little changes you have to do as long as you're allowing Googlebot to crawl your site. You're allowing Google News Bot. I still believe you still can block Google News by blocking Googlebot News if you wanted to. The webmaster tools will remain the same. You don't have to worry about that. The only thing that's a little bit upsetting is that when people wanted to track Google News, specifically their bot, crawling their website individually using their own tools, they were able to do that by tracking the user agent Googlebot News, and now they no longer can do that. There's more information about that and this change over at the Search Engine Roundtable this morning. If you are a publisher and you're in Google News, you probably want to take a look at that. Google released a nice video about sharing some how Google makes search quality improvements. It's a very nicely done video, extremely nicely done video that you might want to take a look at. I really personally did not learn anything from there. Matt Cutts did actually share one little thing that I didn't know, that 52 seconds in the video you can see Matt's wrestler mask, which he said is a long story, and a waving cat from Japan, and Ika Curzon candle, which is also a long story. But again, I don't know anything about those things, but in terms of search quality, it goes through basically how they do updates, how they come up with new updates, ideas, how they test those updates, how they approve them or reject them, and then how they test them more, and then how they push them out. So it just talks about stuff that we really don't know a lot about now, but the video is really well done. If you are new to Google SEO and stuff like that, you definitely want to take a look at that video. Google is testing a new top results bar. I'll share it in the video so you can take a look at it, but basically it basically pushes down the results probably another inch or so. I don't know how many pixels exactly. So it's definitely less condensed than the previous version. And there's multiple ways of the testing it. It has a big search thing on the top left under the Google logo, and it says the results directly under the URL box, but a much bigger font. I hope Google doesn't stick with it because it seems like it's one of those things that really pushes down the results for no real reason. But Google tests things all the time. Also, it seems like Google's testing a new rich snippet. This seems to be a real estate-related rich snippet. Zillow's currently testing it. I can't replicate this, but people have shared images with me, and I'll include those images in this video as well. And you can probably replicate it yourself if you are in this test by searching for New York real estate, Las Vegas real estate, and looking for the Zillow results. Basically, what it does is it shows the number of listings for a certain location, real estate listings for a certain location, the number of, and then it lists out like the top 3. With the number of photos, the address, the price maybe, and stuff like that. So you might want to take a look at that if you are in the real estate game. We posted about that this morning, and I'm waiting for confirmation from Google on that. The next topic is rich snippets again. Google has added a new document basically explaining more information about how rich snippets work, and it goes through some troubleshooting issues with rich snippets. The problem is, honestly, I've implemented so many rich snippets over the course of the year. They all do validate. For some reason, they don't show up. I don't know why. It just doesn't make sense sometimes. And this document's supposed to help you. It hasn't helped me. But if you are having problems with rich snippets, take a look August 22nd at seroundtable.com. Maybe you could go ahead and learn more about that there. Talking about testing stuff, Google's also testing some weird things where basically Google's testing randomized number of results in the search results. So if you go to page 1, you might have 10 results. If you go to page 2, you might get 6 results. You go to page 3, you might get 15 results, and some people are reporting that Google's testing these weird number of results per page thing. It doesn't make sense exactly, but I haven't seen it myself, but people are reporting that. Google has forfeited, according to the Department of Justice, $500 million for running illegal ads on their network, specifically in Canada, I believe. And the statement released by the Department of Justice of the United States said, Google is forfeiting $500 million for allowing online Canadian pharmacies to place advertising through its AdWords program targeting consumers in the United States, resulting in unlawful importation of controlled and non-controlled prescription drugs into the United States. Google stopped these ads a long time ago, but at the same time, they should never allowed it. Google apologized, and they're forking over $500 million because of it. There's a bug on Google this morning, specifically with IE and some other browsers, where if you go to google.com, the mouse cursor, will not focus directly into the search box. So if you went to google.com, you just can't type your search. You have to actually click in the box, in the search box, then type your search. It's kind of annoying, but I'm sure Google will fix that soon. Another thing that Google fixed this week was that product search bug. Basically, if you search for things like Xbox and other very popular products, Google results would actually show no results in Google product search. Google fixed that. They apologized for the issue, and we have a post about that on August 23rd. And a cool thing that Google released on the Google Plus side was the +1 button is now more integrated with the Google Plus social network, where now if you +1 something on a web page, you can also share that with your circles on Google Plus. I'm really into that. It really works well. It saves me a step or two, and I'm digging that very, very much so. Matt Cutts in a Google Plus post went ahead and explained what he believes the difference between "Don't be evil," Google's slogan, and "Do no evil." Google's that's not their slogan. And basically, he described the difference was to don't be evil mean just. I can't really explain it that well, but let me read it to you what he says because he explains it much better. But basically, it's the difference between doing evil acts or not being evil itself. And it's hard to explain without reading it, but let me read it to you. Reasonable people can disagree about whether some things are evil. For example, some people believe that meat is murder. So eating chicken or whatever is considered being evil. Some people say owning stock in a company that does evil stuff is evil itself. Yada, 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 and that makes, an evil company. To live a life so that no one, anywhere in the world, at any time, can accuse you of not being evil is almost impossible. So his definition, and so I think do no evil is impossible standard, because reasonable people can disagree on which are evil choices, i.e. eating meat. He prefers to use don't be evil because it leaves room for honest disagreement, but it still encourages Google to strive to be the better place. So that's the difference between do no evil and don't be evil. Google's slogan is don't be evil, so yada, yada, yada. Finally, Google explains why their customer service is horrible. It's not really horrible, to be honest, but they explain it so anyway. Clinton from Google went ahead and wrote a Google Plus post saying, basically, this is some math. If you have 1 billion users and a mere 0.1% of them have an issue and require support on a given day, and each issue takes you about 10 minutes on an average for an average human to personally resolve, then you'll spend 19 person years handling support issues. So, he said, if each support person works an 8-hour shift each day, then you need about 20,000 plus support people on a permanent staff just to keep up with those issues. So that's Google explaining why they can't go ahead and offer personalized support to everybody. At the same time, they definitely do have a lot of support representatives for a lot of different groups. So it's really, Google's support doesn't really stink that bad. It's much better than it was. But, is it unrealistic for Google to have support staff? I'm not sure. Anyway, that's the search news from the past week over the Search Engine Roundtable. Today, again, it's August 26th. That's the news from SERoundtable.com. My name, again, is Barry Schwartz. Thanks so much for listening, and have a great weekend. And anybody in the East Coast area, definitely be careful this weekend with the hurricane coming. It's supposedly going to hit here as well, so hopefully it won't affect anything that we're doing here. But everybody be safe, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.